Hello everyone and welcome to the channel. I'm Emmanuel, I'm an airline pilot, and today let's check out the Blue Sky Star Soundpack for the Pratt and Whitney engines on the towless A320neo. Now, I know there are two soundpacks available for the A320neo, and I know that there is quite a debate going on as to which one is the best. Now, a lot of people that I really trust recommended me to go for the BSS one, so that is the one I have chosen. There is a chance that at a later point I might have a look into the other one as well. However, for now, we are going to go with the BSS one. Alright then. So we are currently standing in Lufthansa's very first A320neo over at Munich Airport, and we are going to fly this one over to Zurich, which is just a quick 35-minute hop. So how about you follow me into the cockpit, and then we get our airplane going. By the way, I did mention in my first video that I didn't quite like the default view too much. Now, I have played around with it a little bit, and this is what I came up with. So this is my new view that I'm using here in the A320, and I do find that this actually works quite well. It is rather close to what I'm used to from the Microsoft simulator, and indeed it is rather close to what I'm used to from the A330 as well. So that is what I'm using. Alright then, how about we get this airplane powered up and you simply listen to the sounds. So here is our plan for the day. We are going to depart Munich to Zurich as Lufthansa 3 Lima Lima, flight LH2368. Let's have a look into what we need to carry. Oh, that was a bit too quick. Okay, let's have a look. So, fuel 3.4 plus our taxi, so something around 3.7 tons of fuel. Let's have a quick look into the weather to make sure that we have adequate fuel. So we've got some squall lines observed, and they go up to level 360. Well, we are certainly not going to get above that. Let's look into Zurich. We've got some light rain showers and prop 30 thunderstorm rain, prop 40 heavy showers of rain. Okay, that's all not that good. Looking to the alternate Friedrichshafen, that's not too good either. What else do we have? Schiphol? Well, that is alright. Then we have Paris-Orly, that is light showers of rain. Okay, and then Frankfurt, tempo until 1600 thunderstorms. Well, those should be through by the time that we actually get there. And Munich until 1800. Okay, you know what? We're going to uplift fuel for Frankfurt, as that is going to be the safest option for us. Okay, so Frankfurt, fuel, we need 1714 minus the 760 that we currently have. So 1714 minus 760 means we need 954 kilograms of fuel more. So let's have a look into this. Okay, plus 3 tons 339 plus 173, and that is the amount of fuel we need to take. 4.5 tons. Okay, so 4.5 is actually what we can take. So let's go ahead and load that stuff up. So loading, we carry 160 passengers. They are distributed slightly aft since we have the business class in front. And then looking into the previous page. Let's see, zero fuel weight target 61232. So if we load a little bit in the front holds and a little bit in the aft holds, then we are perfectly set. Fuel we take 4.5, and that should be plenty for us. Load, fuel, done. Okay, perfect. So, with that done, we can quickly do our airplane acceptance. Recall. Looks good. We have oxygen, we have hydraulics, we have engine oil, the flap lever agrees, and the speed brakes are retracted. Okay, trucks are in position, brake off. Let's check the alternate brake system. Works perfectly. And park and brake set again. Okay, perfect. So, final thing, A320, Pratt & Whitney engines, database is current. Let's request the flight plan initialization. Okay then, we can start with the rest of our procedures. So, ground control on, all white lights out, that's about as easy as it gets. The airplane is refueled, perfect. Charging the batteries. Okay, so let's go ahead and grab ourselves some weather. And here we go. So, that's a QNH of 1014 and still some thunderstorms in the area every now and then. We go 1014. Oh man, my views are sometimes a little bit strange. Okay, that looks good. So, that certainly means we got to set our weather radar up correctly, like so. And not always that easy to hit everything. Okay, here we go then. Well, then let's go ahead with our FMS pre-flight. So, Munich to Zurich, we set alternate Frankfurt, 3 Lima Lima, and all of that looks good. Let's uplink the winds. And then Munich departure, 26 left via Mersey. Here we go, Mersey 5 Sierra departure, insert, thank you, Zurich arrival, ILS 14, and we come in from Negra, and then we take the Amiki 14 transition. Okay, insert. So let's have a quick look into what we just created. And that actually looks alright. Cool. And secondary, engine out, Munich X3, 126 left, 260/25, yes please, and immediate return towards Munich, 1 ILS approach, runway 26 left, thank you. Okay, we don't really need any radios, we can back that all up with an ANAF overlay. And that's the engine out also in. Okay, perfect. So let's do the init then. Fuel, we said we load 4.5. And that is indeed what we have. Let's quickly compare it with the weight and balance tab. Reset, please. Okay, so 61.3 and 31.4. So 61.3/31.4. And that's what we want. Okay, perfect. Then we can do a little bit of takeoff calculation. Reset that, please. Okay, that is certainly not correct. We've got 1014, and we set the wind is 260 at 7. So 260 at 7, 21, 1014. Runway, let's take it a quarter of water there because of the thunderstorms that are going through every now and then. So compute, flaps 1 takeoff, and that's Whoa, that's really not a lot of stop margin there. Okay, well, you know what? First things first, we want to calculate... First things first, we want to calculate a little bit different, so let's quickly get our charts together. Munich, charts, airport. So, we need the taxi chart and we need the parking stands east. And then, how about we quickly look into this? Okay, that's not the one I wanted. Airport info, do they have the intersection from there? Yes, they do. Okay, so runway 26 left, intersection Bravo 12. That is the shortest taxi, is 2,820 meters. So 2,820. Now compare that to what we have on here, 3,986. So if we take 3,986 minus, what did we just about say, 2,820, it means we can take a takeoff shift of 1,166 meters in order to take into account our first intersection. Like so. And now we've computed takeoff data for Bravo 12. However, I don't like the V1 that it gives me. So let's just change that. We'll go with a wet runway, because that's what it essentially is. Let's see. 165 meter stop margin. Well, let's go config 2. 166 meters. That looks better, if you ask me. And just in case you're wondering why the takeoff speeds have been changing so much, that is actually quite easy to explain. All the takeoff speeds are always a certain band of speeds. So, for example, you can see it up here, V1 113 to 134. Now, the actual possible V1 for the conditions in question would actually be even greater. But the upper limit is limited by VR 134, and the reason the speeds are picked the way they are right now is because they enable best performance on the runway. However, it would always be possible that you could, for example, go with one, something higher. But there's quite a lot going into that, so I'm not going to go into too much detail there, because it would really be topic for a video on its own. All I want to say is, if you see the speeds jumping around like they just did, that's totally normal, no need to worry about it. And now I just want to check if I go back to 1/4 of water, then I get 142. Okay, that's fine. I'm going to calculate... Oh no, I don't want the very low V1. But you know what, we're just going to take it. Let's go safety first. We'll take it. So config 2, down trim point 2 at 72 degrees. 2/0.2 down and 72 degrees. And then our takeoff speeds are going to be 123, 135, 137. So we've got 123, 135, and 137. Okay, thrust reduction acceleration we take at 2,500 each, and the engine out acceleration is going to be at 3,000. 214 is clean, speed is good. We do have a 220 restriction on here, so we can clean it all up. Perfect. Alright, and that is indeed all that we need at this point. So, initial climb is going to be flight level 70, and that's about it. You ready for the departure briefing? Okay, let's go for it. Takeoff runway 26 left, MUC E5 Sierra departure, climbing flight level 70, MSA 3700, and extra fuel today is 15 minutes, 500 kilograms. No hotspots for the taxi, and stop margin for the RTO is 144 meters. Engine outset on the runway track, climbing to Munich X3. Engine out acceleration altitude is going to be at 3,000 feet. Immediate return is possible, we're under the maximum landing weight, and I don't see any special operations. Threats for the departure, wind shear is a possible factor, so if wind shear happens, we'll call wind shear, toga, thrust levers to maximum, make sure the speed brake is retracted, rotate to 15 degrees of pitch, and then follow the SRS commands. Anything else for the departure briefing? No? Okay, then let's go ahead and do the cockpit preparation checklist. Gear pins and covers removed, fuel quantity 4,500 kilograms, balanced, seatbelts on, ADRs, nav, barrel ref, QNH 1014. Cockpit preparation checklist complete. So it looks like they are done with the boarding and they actually armed the slides already. They're really good today. Okay, let's go ahead and pre-plan our pushback. We are going to go on to the orange line. Like so.
Ground to cockpit. Plan acknowledged. Call me through the menu when you're ready.
Boom. Okay, APU is there. Now park and brake is set. Very good. Okay then, you guys can start getting ready.
On to cockpit. Tow is driving up.
Okay, in the meantime, let's say hello to the passengers. Ladies and gentlemen, a very good afternoon from flight deck. This is your captain speaking. My name is Emanuel, and in the name of Lufthansa, I would like to welcome you aboard our flight to Zurich. Flight time today about 35 minutes at an altitude of 24,000 feet. We would like to thank you very much for joining us today. Hope that you will enjoy this one. And if there is anything we can do for you to make it more comfortable, please do not hesitate to ask any of our cabin crew. Thank you for your attention and once again welcome on board. Sehr geehrte Damen und Herren, einen schönen guten Abend aus dem Cockpit. Hier spricht Ihr Kapitän. Mein Name ist Emanuel und im Namen der Lufthansa sind Sie ganz herzlich an Bord unseres Fluges nach Zürich willkommen. Flugzeit heute 35 Minuten in 24.000 Fuß. Wir bedanken uns an der Stelle herzlich, dass Sie unsere Gäste sind. Wenn es etwas gibt, womit wir Ihnen den Flug schöner gestalten können, zögern Sie bitte nicht, sich an unseren Flugbegleiter zu wenden. Vielen Dank für Ihre Aufmerksamkeit und noch einmal herzlich willkommen an Bord. Okay, ground, the park and brake is set and you can... Interesting. I didn't even know we could do that. Neat. Okay, but thank you, we don't need that anymore. So, park and brake set, please connect the tuck tow bar, advise when we are ready for push. Okay, the jetway is still connected, that is gonna be a little bit of a problem there. But nonetheless, I would say we're just about to do a procedure and then I'm sure it's gonna disconnect.
Tow connected and bypass pin inserted. Release parking brake.
Yep, that's what I meant, it's disconnecting. Okay, before start checklist. Park and brake, set, takeoff speeds and thrusts. 123, 135, 137, flex 72. Windows. Closed, beacon on, before start checklist complete. Okay then. Break off.
Starting pushback, and you may start the engines.
Roger. Okay, so here comes the specialty of the Pratt engines under the A320neo, and that they actually tell you the time they take to cool down before the actual engine start commences. So again, it's a A320neo, that means that the engine start is going to take quite a while, so we'll start with it as soon as possible. Now, officially we need to wait until we are outside of the red area over here, but I really saw it happen a lot of times on the line that when the ground crew said that we're clear to start, that people simply started. So how about we just do the same, seeing that we don't want to waste any time. Okay then, starting engine 2. Engine 2 start, and here you can see the cooling. So the N2 runs up to about 10%-ish. Now you can see the cooling timer counting down. And when that is completed, the engine is going to continue its start cycle. Quite cool if you ask me. Okay, time's up, and you can see it continues the start cycle. The LEAP 1B engine doesn't do that, unfortunately, so that's a little bit of a bummer in that in the LEAP 1B you just need to wait until it continues the startup on its own. But over here, with the Pratt engines, it works quite well. And I do really appreciate seeing this. thinking back to the MAX where I flew the LEAP 1B engine, you know, it really was a pain at times because it could take like 2.5 minutes for the engine to start. And then you just kept sitting there watching the thing saying bow rotor motoring. That's how it was called in the MAX. And you had to wait until it continued to run up to put the fuel on. So that was a bit of a thing there. Okay then, engine is avail. Let's start engine 1. Engine 1 start. So, same thing happening over here. In the meantime, we got a company message. It's probably the weather I requested.
Operation complete. Please set parking brake.
Yes, it is. Brake set.
Disconnecting tow.
Okay, what do we have here? Frankfurt, Zurich, and Munich. Thank you very much. That's we printed that already. Okay, so timer's running. Timer is up. Okay, we'll wait a little bit before we tell them that they can disconnect, because we want to be sure that we have a good engine start. Otherwise, we can always reconnect the tuck and have them pull us back on the stand. It's really a pain if the ground crew is gone already, because they are going to the next aircraft. And then something happens, you need to pull back on stand. You know, it can take like 20-30 minutes until you have ground crew again. Okay, here we go. So first things first, we tell them to disconnect, because they usually take much longer for their procedure than we take down here for ours. Okay, see, now we're ready, and they are still down there working.
Tow is disconnected and bypass pin has been removed. Hand signal on the right. I'll see you next time and have a safe flight.
Thank you very much, schönen Tag noch und wir sehen uns. Tschüss. Okay, we're over here, so we'll taxi by the blue line, and then we can go via Sierra 8 straight ahead up to Bravo 12. Cool. So, after start checklists, the hand signal is received over there. Anti-ice off, ecom status checked, pitch trim, that's 32%, rudder trim, neutral, after start checklist complete. Flight control track, pull up, pull down, neutral, full left, full right, neutral, rudder, full left, full right, neutral. Okay, request taxi please. Left side clear, right side clear. Brake check, pressure 0. So by doing the brake check, all you do effectively is to check if the primary, the green braking system, has taken over. Keep in mind, the accumulator shows you the yellow system pressure in the A320 and the blue system in the A330. And for that reason, it shows you something on the ground, or with the green system not powered, because the alternate system is then powering the brakes. However, once you start up the engine, the green system takes over, and then doing the brake check, you basically verify that the green system has indeed taken over from the backup system, be it the yellow on the 320 or the blue on the 330. Okay, we got some reflections on the apron here. That means it is a little bit wet, but shouldn't be too bad really. Okay, I don't see any changes to our departure briefing. Everything is pretty much exactly as we discussed it. Now look at that! We've been so quick with our procedures that the engine number 1 oil temperature hasn't even risen enough so that we could start our takeoff. So for that reason, engine 1, oil low temperature, delay takeoff. So we'll do that. That's pretty cool, isn't it? And here we go. Now it's warm enough. Look at that. 55 degrees. That's all we need. Okay, and I still have some problems here with the taxiway bridges in Munich. So we are going to ignore those for now, and I'm simply going to taxi through the fence. I don't really know what it is with this scenery. All others I don't have that problem, but it seems like whenever I add a new scenery and restart X-Plane, it changes my scenery config file, and that basically messes up the scenery. All the others I don't have problems, only with this one. Really don't know why, but well, so be it. Okay. What's the cabin doing? I do have a feeling we need to give them a ding in order to, yeah, to report them ready. But that's fine. Taxi checklist. Flight controls, checked. Flap setting, config 2. Radar and predictive wind shear, on and auto. Engine start selector, norm. Ecam memo, takeoff no blue, taxi checklist complete. Okay, on to Bravo 1-2. And then we are ready to go. Okay, I'll turn terrain on the FO's display. And I'll use the weather on mine. And let's make sure to turn the brightness all the way up. Okay. So, runway 12, line up and wait. Cabin crew, prepare for departure. Line-up checklist. Takeoff runway. 26 left, Bravo 1-2. TCAS. Tara, PAX 1 and 2. Off, line-up checklist complete. Yeah. Pretty hard to see the approach, but it certainly looks clear. Okay, runway 26 left, cleared for takeoff. Takeoff. Man flag 72, SS runway, auto thrust blue. Thrust set. (100 knots). V1. Rotate. Positive climb. Gear up. Enough. So let's fly a little bit. Weather seems alright in our departure sector, so we might as well enjoy ourselves. Thrust climb, climb, auto thrust. Flaps 1. Speed check, flaps 1. Okay, let's climb a little bit higher. 19,000 blue. Flap 0. Speed check, flap 0. That's standard. Standard cross check, passing flight level 53 now. Check. Alright, and we are pretty much done. So from this point, Autopilot 1 can take over. And now we've just got to enjoy ourselves. Why don't we just about head outside for a second? Fair enough, with the Blue Sky Star Soundpack from the outside it's pretty quiet. But I just totally love the looks. I just totally love them. And I do have to say that I do think my X-Plane is looking quite decent now. The scenery is alright with the auto-ortho. The airplane is looking pretty cool. Especially the Neo engines, I really have to say. And overall, the clouds are kinda alright as well. I'm still considering if I should get a weather add-on or not. But why don't you guys tell me in the comments below if you think a weather add-on is worth it for X-Plane, or if you think I should stay with the default weather engine. Alright, let's go back inside. We passed 10,000, so final lights can go off. I'll keep the passenger seated for a bit. Temperature is now 12 with climbing. You know what? Engine anti-ice on. Then we can tidy up our flight plan. So, Optimum 371, cruise 240, that is perfectly fine. Clear this. Alright, and with that we are pretty much done. Not quite sure if this is a reflection or a return from the weather radar. I sure hope that's a reflection. Let's see, what does the FO's display show? Yeah, we have it over here as well. Alright, that's a reflection. I can live with that. Alright, let's take a little shortcut. Direct to... Well, you know what? Let's go direct to Takeoff, because why not? Overall, it's just some 80 miles or so. Okay, insert. And most importantly, it's just some 80 miles in the lower airspace, so over here not a lot is happening. For that reason, such a shortcut certainly is not unrealistic at all. Okay, can I get my floodlights a little brighter? Well, that armrest is just in the way. No, can't see him at all during daylight. Well, it is what it is. Okay, let's climb level 240. See what that looks like. Yeah. Like a 40-mile cruise or so. That is fine. Not the longest, but then again, it's just a 35-minute hop anyway. Now imagine flying a CRJ or something the likes, and just doing these hops pretty much all the time. Okay, it does get a little bit bumpy. Seatbelts are still on, very good. So that's all fine. Okay, flying this low in this area, I want the FO back on the terrain display. Overall, the highest MSA over the Alps is somewhere in the region about 16,000 feet or so, but I rather have the display on just in case something happens than not to have it on. I'm sure you know where I'm going with that. Okay, temperature +7, but looks like we are slowly getting out of the weather. I do apologize for the little cut. Unfortunately, my X-Plane decided it is a good idea to crash the desktop, and therefore I had to reload the flight. The good news, however, is that I can now confidently say that the autosave system the TOLIS has implemented works fairly well. There were a couple of things that I needed to do, like resetting the EFIS control panel and removing the engine outset once again. But apart from that, it worked really well, and we are flying once again. So we're just about to break out of the clouds. Once we're out, we can turn the anti-ice off and hopefully release the passengers if it's smooth. It is a rather short flight, so I am kind of hoping that we will get a chance to have the passengers go to the toilet, but if not, then not. Alright. So, let's see what will wait for us at the other side of the clouds. A little bit of precipitation in here, actually. Oh, and a little bit of turbulence. But we're getting out. Okay. A little bit more turbulence here. Engine anti-ice off. And I'll just about give it a little bit before I'm going to release the passengers. But I do think that we are mostly clear now, so let's have them go. Approaching. Speed, vertical speed. $1,000 to go. Okay, let's go ahead and grab a couple of charts already. Pretty short flight once again. So, Zurich. Arrival. Negra to Alpha. Leading us towards Amiki. And then we can take the Amiki transition for runway 14, like this. Perfect. Then we need an ILS approach for runway 14. Yep. And finally some taxi charts. In the meantime, let's quickly monitor the level up. Hold star. Doesn't seem like it's turbulent anymore, that's good. Hold cruise. Okay, and we're up. Perfect. Okay then. Airport. So we'll need this. And finally we need probably this. Yeah. Okay, that's it. Cool. So, let's quickly grab the latest weather. Light rain, QNH 1015. Pre-selected. And our alternate is Kavok. Perfect. So the weather has improved quite a bit since we last got it. Okay then. That's pretty much the entire on-off transition. 3-degree final, perfect, and the missed approach, let's compare that. They're always rather complicated here in Zurich. So, straight at 5 DME outbound, left turn 359. So we've got 5 DME outbound, 359. till 7.8 dB Zurich, maximum 4000, then to Zurich East. So we've got that below 4000, then intercepts towards Zurich East, and then right turn towards Amiki. Okay. And then minimum 6,000. Initially 4 and then later 6. Okay. Well, oh yeah, and then 7. Oh, lovely. Okay. Cool, but we can do that. So enough setup then, let's tune a bit of a backup here. We'll take Zurich East on 051. So, Zue. Come to 51 track. That's perfect. And then outbound to Amiki is going to be 094. So let's take Zue once again, and this time 094. Perfect. Okay then, QNH 1015, temperature 19. I just totally love it that I can simply print out my META over here. By the way, this also works with the Vatsometers. That's really cool. And now I can simply use it up here without having to remember all the stuff and then switch around and so on. Okay, transition 7.0, so the approximate probably make 7.5 out of that. And then finally we need a minimum, which is going to be 1602. 1602. Perfect. So we've got a pretty long runway. Let's do some landing performance. 190 at 8, 191015. That seems correct. Light rain, so let's take it wet. We don't need anti-ice. I'm going to calculate config 3 straight away. And no reversers. Compute. 2770. And I think that's probably the best we can do. We don't have a braking mode, none. So yeah, this is the best we can do. Okay, so config 3, auto brakes low. Then 2270 meters, that means we can easily vacate towards the end. So landing down here on 14, and then going out at the end at Hotel 3 Kilo, crossing runway 28, and then up to the stands up here. I do suppose that that's where we're parking. Okay, and that's it. So, are you ready for the approach brief? I suppose that was yes. Okay. NORA for the arrival, 4,500, 5,600 in the approach sectors, and then in the south, 5,700, so yeah. 6,000 basically keeps us safe as long as we don't fly it into the south. Also, I would say at least. Okay, then Negra 2 Alpha arrival, Amiki 14 transition for an ILS approach, runway 14, minimum Sparrow 1602, go around trajectory, straight at 5.1, left turn 359 by 7.8 miles inbound to Zurich East. Extra fuel and time, let's have a quick look at that. So we've got 20 minutes extra, 600 minutes. Okay, eventually it will be radar vectors towards the final approach. For an ILS approach, landing flaps 3, stop margin is like a lot of meters there. 874. No reversers, or rather idle reverse. Auto brake low, and the planned runway exit is at the end. Hotspots for taxiing, we're going to cross runway 28, so we be careful that we actually have crossing clearance by the time that we cross down here in Kilo. And special or non-standard operations, I don't really see anything. In terms of threats, we have some high terrain in the area, so you're on the terrain display already. That's perfect, exactly what I wanted to suggest. And that is it. Any questions? No? Perfect. Then I'll quickly talk to the passengers, and then we can proceed with our approach. Ladies and gentlemen, very good afternoon from the flight deck. This is your captain once again. We are going to start our descent towards Zurich in the next moment. Remaining flight time about 20 minutes. Weather in Zurich at the moment 19 degrees centigrade and some light rain in the area with a low-lying cloud base. We would like to thank you very much for choosing Lufthansa for today's flight. Hope you enjoyed it as much as we did. We look forward to welcoming you again on board a future trip. And until then, we would like to wish you a very nice day. If a prequel, nice and safe, continuous journey. Thank you for your attention, and we see you all again on the next one. Sehr geehrte Damen und Herren, das ist im Cockpit, Ihr Kapitän. Wir beginnen gerade unseren Anflug in Richtung Zürich, jetzt noch etwa 20 Minuten zu fliegen. Wetter in Zürich, derzeit leichter Regen mit einer niedrigen Wolkendecke. Wir bedanken uns herzlich, dass Sie heute unsere Gäste waren, wünschen Ihnen einen schönen Aufenthalt, gegebenenfalls eine gute und sichere Weiterreise und würden uns freuen, Sie auch bald wieder an Bord eines unserer Flugzeuge begrüßen zu dürfen. Vielen Dank für Ihre Aufmerksamkeit und wir wünschen Ihnen noch einen schönen Tag. Okay, passengers are catered. We started the descent, thrust idle descent, alt flight level 140 blue. I'll go over to the constraints straight away since there is quite a bit of stuff on there. Okay, where's that blue line coming from? Probably our routing to the Altman airport, is it? Oh yeah, it is. Look at that. Actually uplink all of that. That is quite cool, isn't it? Okay. Alright, so that's pretty much it. So, quick little descent. I would say this is a good movement for a shortcut. Let's go direct waypoint 375. No need to fly that little bump to the left here. There is no departing traffic that we could bump into, so we don't need to fly any bumps as well. Okay. And like that, we are on the way. I don't think we need the sunshades anymore. Oh, look at that. Now it realized, oh, I'm getting a bit high due to the shortcut. Give me a bit more rate of descent. Well, at least it did realize it. But let's go down to flight level 100. And that's gonna be over here. Okay, so... oh no, over here. On the downwind. Well, you know what? Then... expecting a bit of a shortcut. Number 1, seatbelts on. Number 2... selected speed, open descent, give me 330 knots, we want to get down. Oh, open descent. This is such a short flight, and due to the crash to desktop I had in the middle, where I had to reload the simulator, things got even a little bit more cramped for me, since you kind of get thrown out of the mental picture of the flight that you've built for yourself. But I totally forgot to include a possible shortcut in the altitude constraints there. So how about we plan that now? Let's say 407 to 414. Let's see, where does it want to be there? We would cut off approximately 6 miles. It wants to be in flight level 79. So let's make that maybe 2,000 feet less. 6,000. Then all of a sudden we are like 800 feet high. Just getting back on it, so that is alright. So strange that we don't have outside sounds over here. I don't know why that is, but, well. It's fine, as they say. So, catching back up with the profile. Okay, let's descend 5,000 on the QNH 1015. Okay, set QNH 1015. 1015. Cross-checked, passing 11,300. Now, checked. Okay, speed back to managed. And let's help a little bit with the level off. Let's go vertical speed for a second. Okay, let's lose the speed. Coming back nicely now. That's on, that's on. Constraints are on already. LS selected. GPS primary, engine mode selector, no. Perfect. First idle open descent. Let's help a little bit with the speed brake. Because I have a feeling we're going to get a vector now. And look at that. All of a sudden we're on a radar vector. Okay, let's see. Direct to sequence the flight plan, please. Osman 314. Radial in. Okay, confirmed. Insert. Okay, descending 4,000, and then let's see how much we need. Tiny bit longer, so let's go right heading 290. $3,000 above the profile, that's fine. We'll catch that again. Okay, approach checklist. Barrel ref, QNH 1015, seatbelts on, minimum, barrel 1602. Okay, just activated the approach phase by itself, we don't want that yet. I'll go selected speed. Auto brake, low, engine start selector, normal, approach checklist complete. Okay, going through glide slope, but that is not the actual glide slope. That is a side lobe, that's for sure. I do find it pretty cool, by the way, that we do have those simulated in X-Plane. Here it comes again. But don't trust this is not accurate. Okay, let's start speed reduction. Vertical speed. Okay, put those speed brakes in, otherwise the airplane is just gonna add thrust. Okay, let's turn onto a base, heading 220. That glide slope is real now. Flaps 1, speed checked. Thrust idle open descent. So this should be alright. For the intercept. This should be absolutely alright. Okay. So, for some reason my auto-ortho isn't working over here. Probably related to the mesh terrain close to Zurich. That does seem to be quite an auto-ortho killer. But, overall, it's alright-ish. It's alright. Okay, 1.5 mile, let's turn final. Heading 150, cleared ILS. Flight slope localizer blue, Cat 3 dual, autopilot 1 and 2. And let's say we've got a typical ATC speed restriction, something like 160 knots until 40 ME. Just making things a little bit more fun. So flaps 2. Flaps up star, lock star. Go around altitude 4,000 feet set. Alright, and that's about as tight as we can take it. There really wasn't much more room to do anything else. Obviously we didn't have to reduce the speed that quickly, but I just wanted to fly something that ATC would typically do to you. And ultimately, I want to fly a little bit manually, so let's get rid of that stuff. Cat 1, manual flight. Runway is in sight on the 12 o'clock. That's an interesting reflection from the sun down here on the Ecam. Well, just gonna ignore that. Okay, so field elevation is 1,400, that means we're 2,000 above, gear down. Is it just me or are those hills rather big over here? Flap 3. Oh boy, fly that airplane. Okay, approaching 4 miles. Manage speed. See, that really gets the cabin ready. Okay, I've certainly flown more beautiful approaches. Anyway, landing checklist. Ecam memo, landing no blue. Landing checklist complete. Checked. Yeah, we'll take it as stabilized. The thrust is still in idle, so technically speaking it's not, but since we have to do the job of a 2-man crew in a 1-man cockpit here, I'll take that as stabilized. And
300. 100 above.
checked.
200. Minimum.
Continue.
100.
So, all visual by now.
50. 40. 30. 20. Retard. 10. Drive.
Spoiler, reverse green, decel. Manual brakes. And we'll just let it roll. $70 knots. Okay, let's apply a little bit more braking to be sure that we actually vacate all the way at the end. And that looks good. Okay then, here we are. So, straight onto Kilo, crossing runway 28. So, time to do a little bit of housekeeping. Alright. Left side clear, right side clear. Let's cross runway 28. And after landing checklist. Oh, everything is clear. Radar and predictive wind shear off. After landing checklist complete. Okay, so straight ahead and parking just about over there. And that's the APU available. So, something I wanted to test. Normally, when turning a pack off, the fuel flow should decrease. So we've got 290 kilos an hour now. Let's turn pack 1 off. Okay, sorry, that was a stupid test because the APU has taken over. Let's just put the APU bleed off again, and the engine bleed is going to be used once more. You can see the EGT rising. So now we've got the engine bleed on. What happens if we put a pack off? Pack 2 off. Yeah, slight difference here. You see that? 300 kilos fuel flow on the left, 290 on the right where the pack is off. That was just something I wanted to see if that actually works, because in MSFS, in most aircraft recently, it just didn't work anymore. Okay, so let's take that one over here. Are those working? Yeah, they are. Good. Cool. Top. Okay. Cool, so we have the bleed source available. In that case, cabin crew, all doors in park. Engines are coming down. Lights are disarmed. Parking checklist. Parking brakes or trucks. Brake set. Engines off. Wing light off. Fuel pumps off. Parking checklist complete. Okay then, let's get ourselves shocks and the ground power. So, that's gonna be it for today's flight. Thank you very much for watching, everyone. I sure hope that you enjoyed this one. Do let me know in the comments below how you liked the sound set. Do let me know if you think I could do anything better. And finally, do also let me know if you think that my channel totally sucks. Well, just kidding, you're doing that anyway. Okay, no, anyway. Yeah, I really like that sound set. I really do. Obviously, I didn't try the competition, so that is something, as I mentioned at the beginning of the video, I still have to. Also, I am still going to do another video using the Leap 1A engine instead of the Pratt & Whitney as we used on this one, so you can for sure stand by for that. In the meantime, I would like to say thank you very much for watching. Leave a like to the video as it really does help out the channel, and do let me know what you think in the comments below. If you're up for more, subscribe, and finally, if you really love what I'm doing, I would appreciate a small donation through the Buy Me a Coffee link in the video description below. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you all again on the next one.